Dodgy Child Care Centres in Australia. Let's have a look. Good evening, everyone. I'm Florian Heiser, and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. Now, I hope you've all had a good day, because this is an interesting one. This is an article I saw today about dodgy child care centres. And don't worry, I'm Stein in hand. Now, child care centres in Australia. We've heard of this in the past, of these dodgy centres. Let's read through this article. So nearly 200 dodgy Australian daycare centres are shut down after police find links to Islamic State, bikie gangs, and large-scale fraud. Okay? Islamic State, bikie gangs, and large-scale fraud. Now, before I read any of this article, I'm going to say this is probably a part of the deadweight loss and corruption that can occur when the government gets involved in private business. My solution for this is to remove all the fringe benefit tax associated with this industry, to deregulate it significantly, and allow businesses to provide smart packages for people who have family. You know, we'll hire a nanny to take care of your kids in the office. We'll build a little playroom there. They'll take them out to the playground for you. You can breastfeed at work. There's a nanny that'll take care of your babies. You know? How many people would love that flexibility to be around their kid? And I'm talking about this because, frankly, Rachel and I was around our child all the time. We brought them to work. You know, we were exposed to them. They grew up in the office, and they turned out pretty normal. So let's jump into this article. Almost 200 daycare centres have been shut down in New South Wales alone as police investigate links to Islamic State. I can't believe childcare centres are linked to Islamic State. This is crazy. Motorcycle gangs and large-scale fraud. Well, you know, the bikies need to get into the... Why are the bikies getting into childcare? Well, you learn life skills, won't you? Suburbs in southwest Sydney were home to the worst offenders, with 4 suburbs in the region claiming 114 of the 181 private facilities that were closed. Okay, so what this is, you can get or set up a daycare at home, and you can have a certain number of children that you take care of in your house. We can't do it because we've got too many kids, but it's almost worth hiring someone just to do that because they're very lucrative. These are very lucrative. The government wants to get all the women and people working. You know, go be good tax cattle. Police shut down 49 facilities in the Canterbury Bankstown region, another 25 in Liverpool, 23 in Fairfield, and 11 in Auburn. In one case, the director of the supposed daycare was intercepted at Sydney Airport, believed to be on his way to fight alongside Islamic State. That's where your tax dollars are going, guys. That's where your tax dollars are going. He pleaded guilty to supplying fake invoices worth more than $100,000 for children who were not in his care, and was sentenced to a minimum jail term of 10 months. That's it. Another family daycare was supposedly run in a house with no electricity, while a third address led investigators to an abandoned garage, the Daily Telegraph reported. So, how can it get to that point where you can be running it for that long? And how is this possible? Why aren't they inspecting it as part of establishing these daycare centres? What's going on? What's happening in New South Wales? What's happening in our department? Just government inefficiencies. The closures have seen the numbers of New South Wales family daycare services slashed by more than half since 2016, from 420 to 197. Well, no, that's because half of them were running in garages and funneling money to ISIS and were dodginess. And oh boy, this is just hilarious, this one. So, Ali Farman was charged with knowingly directing the activities of a criminal group in the form of his alleged Red Rose daycare scam, which pocketed government subsidies. So there it is. You know, that's the problem with anything like this. When the government gets involved, there's an opportunity for corruption. But I never thought I'd be reading about childcare and ISIS and bikie gangs. I mean, okay, nuts. One source described described a license to run a daycare centre in New South Wales as a virtual license to print money. Well, what am I doing architecture for? What am I working for? The federal government is expected to save more than $674 million annually as a result of the investigation. What is happening in New South Wales? How is New South Wales letting it get to this point? How are they letting it get to this point? Our country is just a laughing stock. When all these people that can come, when these idiots can come set up dodgy daycares and get away with this crap, and then take the money that the government's giving them, apparently providing a service. How can they be running something like that and not be checked up on? Shouldn't someone go and visit and investigate and make sure it's good? Shouldn't you have a safety inspection done? Wouldn't you need a building assessment for workplace health and safety done? How the hell can this happen? It's just insane. Bloody hell. What is going on? What is going on? They must be in cahoots. They must have people on the inside in cahoots with this lot, because I don't understand how else it can happen. So, Hussein Dandiak, 28, was arrested in relation to a police investigation into a $27 million fraud syndicate and the funneling of funds into the Islamic State. So guys, don't worry about it. It's not halal. It's not halal. It is daycare centres. Okay? It's daycare centres. That's what it is. Daycare centres are taking your money. That's just nuts. That is just nuts. Oh, I read that bit already, but still. They will avoid paying out fraudulent applications for children who were not even students at the facilities applying for funding. Last month, coordinated raids throughout the southwest led to the arrest of more than 20 people believed to be involved in running or facilitating fraudulent daycare centres. Oh, this is just crazy, because you know what this is doing? It's just staining the entire sector. It is staining the entire sector. It is destroying opportunity for innovation, and the government's just regulating the hell out of it. What about all these politicians that are calling for a wage gap and want to increase the salary of workers in childcare when they're wasting over $670 million on these fraudulent setups? Unbelievable. Red Roses Family Daycare will guarantee to fund ISIS with every time you drop off your non-existent child. Anyway, Red Roses Daycare Director Ali Frahman and 2 other females were charged for their involvement. Some 150 parents are now also being investigated into that case after it was determined parents had sold or provided their children's information to the accused. Okay, so here's an issue. Here is an issue. Now, these people are all from a particular social group, a particular, I would say, religious group. And there's 150 people in that community who are party to this fraud. What do you all think about that? What do you think about that? The New South Wales government has now implemented a similar process to approving applications for new facilities to Queensland. Oh, well, there you go. New South Wales is catching up to Queensland. I mean, I've just read all the stuff yesterday about, the Opal Tower investigation and how they're just doing so far behind Queensland in a lot of their processes. I'm not surprised they're buggering this up as well. Rather than the old online application and cross-checking process, potential applicants are now required to pass a mandatory face-to-face interview. How the hell is that innovative? How the hell is that? Is that it? Is that the whole article? So you're kidding me. You're kidding me. So because New South Wales had an online application process where people could set up this garbage, fill out some forms, they just need to get, information from 150 people. We have money getting funneled to ISIS. We have money getting funneled to jihadis from the Australian taxpayers. And I'm not making this up. This isn't a conspiracy theory. We're reading it right now in the bloody paper. That is insane. I mean, who approved this process? They need to be held accountable for this. This is gross incompetence on the part of whoever was involved in the New South Wales government that said that would be appropriate. And you know what the problem is? It's Labor governments pushing to get families to work. Stick your kids in childcare. Stick them in childcare. Forget about having family time. You need to work. And then it sends, the outcome of this, money goes to terrorism. I wish I was being hyperbolic or making a bloody joke, but no, I'm not, because it's happened. I'm reading it right here. Wow. So all you lefties, now I'm going to be hyperbolic. Everyone who voted Labor is supporting ISIS. If you're supporting Labor's policies with regards to childcare, boom, you're supporting terrorism. Unbelievable. This is just ludicrous. This is utterly ludicrous. Okay, so people are able to take advantage. Foreign terrorists are reaping the rewards of left-leaning systems here in Australia to help out the mothers and the families. Terrorists are finding a way to make money from that. Unbelievable. Well, guys, let me know what you think about this. Am I overreacting? Or is it just getting so insane these days? Anyway, I thought I'd be reading a fun thing about childcare centres, but bloody hell, unbelievable. Anyway, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Ding the bell for my daily updates, and let me know what you do. Are you sure? If you've got children in daycare, are you sure they're not helping fund money for ISIS? Let me know in the comments. You better check. See you all tomorrow.